It's not a world of men.
I want you to be a man.
You could just be a man in this one moment.
I gotta be a man.
Be a man.
It's be a man time.
Be a man.
Be a man.
Be a man. Am I supposed to be a man?
Be a man.
Be a man. Be a man.
Be a man.
You can act like a man.
Be a man.
So back in those days, they showed the Italian mob as having a big presence in the can. Did they back in that time frame?
Yeah.
So if you were kind of affiliated with them, would they leave you alone?
Yeah, they look out for you. They're just, you know, if you're a good guy, you're not going to have any problems,
Right.
especially if those guys liked you, you know?
You Walpole back then right away? Yeah.
Yeah.
The first stint.
Yeah, Walpole was, I'll tell you, man, it was a good place to do time, as strange as it sounds. And now, you know, guys don't even know what it's like doing time.
Yeah.
It's so different, all these new they control it now. Back then, they didn't come in the block. They didn't go out in the fucking
Really?
yard. Yeah. You get fucking jumped out in the yard and stabbed. Good luck. They'll be out there in 20 minutes, you know.
Right.
Yeah, and they let it die down. They wouldn't even, you're in a fight, they wouldn't even cuff you up. They go grab you and walk you to the HSU. And Walpole was it was a good place. It could be scary at times, but you know, if you were respectful and you were a good guy, you really didn't have much to worry about.
Right.
And like I said, unless you get involved in some of that shit,
Yeah.
owing money, gambling.
You could survive in prison.
Yeah.
No problem.
Enjoy prison. Be a man.
I had this guy working on my deck up in New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah.
Him.
Just a great story.
Well, he's a fucking jerk. He's a guy from Ireland, right? I liked him at first.
Yeah.
But he fucked me on the deck. Took the money, did a sucky job. It was just a disaster, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, he told me he was a street fighting, box fighting man, fucking underground fighting all over Europe, right? But one of the things, and then he told me he did 5 years in the can in England. I'm like, oh, all this stuff, really? Wow, no shit, huh? And then we're having a little fucking discussion. He goes, fuck it, I'll go back in the fucking can tomorrow. I don't care. I go, you don't care? I go, over what? He goes, guy, give me, if dad grabbed me by the fucking neck, tell him I go back to jail, I'll go back. I go, you get your wife, kids. He goes, I don't care. You think that's true? Or was he fucking bullshitting me?
Yeah, he's a
Trying to
I
impress
said,
you.
you want to go back to fucking jail?
He knew who you were, right?
Let me,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I'm
so
not-
I was trying to impress you.
yeah.
You know?
He was the same guy when the first day I fucking hired him, right? He told me how he threw people down flights of steps, customers. He's a contractor.
Yeah, this guy's a beanshooter.
Imagine that. You hire me and go like that. Like I go, yeah,
That's
one
the original Beanshooter.
Yeah, he's a real
right?
beanshooter.
Here's one guy, hey, John, trying to correct me on what I'm doing. I grabbed him by the fucking neck and threw him on the ground. I go, so let me get this straight. A guy who just hired you for the deck or whatever, you grabbed him by the fucking throat and hurled him on the ground because he says, what are you doing? He goes, yes.
Yeah.
He had multiple stories like that.
But the best part was you saw him limping outside, and you're like, I'm going to go
I
after
thought
his
we were
knee.
going to have a fight.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been retired for years.
I hear you. I didn't try to
Wait,
get
look at me, right?
If I can fall down and break my hip,
What the fuck am I going to fight? I was going to say an 80-year-old guy. He can't even fight your father. He beat me up. What the fuck am I fighting?
That's
Nobody.
how I am. I ain't
But
trying-
this guy here,
I haven't
right?
thrown a punch in 20 years.
I'm thinking we're really going to have a fight. In my mind, I'm concocting a scenario where him and I got one left of me.
Yeah.
You have the bad knee?
Yeah. Yeah, fucking right.
I was
Anyway.
going downstairs going like this with the bag going. Trying to I'm gonna kick the fucking knee. And then I'm going to go up here. I
Yeah.
had it all worked out. I was sweating in bed like this going,
Yeah, this guy was causing some stress.
Oh,
Take the knee out. Do a fucking Nancy Kerrigan.
Yeah. Shane Stant. Yeah.
So through the years, real quick, you've been in and out of the joint like over the decades. What do you think the best decade was? To be in the can, like
Late 80s,
yeah,
early 90s, yeah.
Good
Was the
times?
best. Yeah.
Walpole.
Yeah. And, 90s are good.
Did you ever
And-
do a bid and get out and just be like, yeah, that kind of wasn't that bad? Like you said that like you had like a couple of like good stays or
Yeah, like all of them. I mean, once it's behind you, you know,
Yeah.
we do have good times in there, and I had
Yeah.
a lot of laughs, and it's funny, you know, you look, you're like, wow, that went by pretty quick. You know what I mean?
Got to make the best of it.
yeah, you
yeah.
make the best
Yeah.
of it. You
You
know,
you have to have a
there.
job? Does everybody have to have a job in there?
no, I always refused to work. I wouldn't work for cops, but in the end in Walpole, they were doing some work in the minimum end, and I was getting towards the end of my sentence, and they wanted me to to get a job to go down the minimum end, and I had a lot of friends down there, so I had like a year left. So I got a job in the plate shop making license plates.
Oh yeah.
And then they caught me making knives and taking knives out and buried me in 10 bucks. So what?
I know.
So what I did was when you walk in to make the license plates in Walpole, there's a metal detector on your way out. You walk through it, and there's a plastic window, or a cop sits in the window and watches.
Yeah.
So I noticed when I'd go in that he'd have his back to the window. So one day I told a few guys, and I walked in and I crawled like the metal detector. So when we were getting out of work, like 10 guys were waiting first in line. So the cop's standing on the other side, and 5-10 guys get through before they realize the thing ain't beeping. And he plugs it in. So I got him, a couple times. And when you're getting knives out of there, that's a big thing. They want to
make some nice shivs out of that.
Yeah. And people can get killed. So it's a big security issue. A cop can get stabbed. So they take that real serious. So a couple days later, we're going to do it again this Friday. So I walk in last. I'm late for work. I see the cop's got his back to the window. So real quick, I bend down, I unplug it. I walk in. He spins around. Lee, hands on the wall, you motherfucker. He's like, I got him. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what did I do? I just come into work. He goes, you fucked with the fucking machine. You just did something. I go, no, I didn't. I walked in. He goes, hey, fuck face. He points up. They put one of those round bubble mirrors. So he's sitting there with his back in the window, and he's looking dead at me, and I'm lying, saying I didn't do it because I knew he wasn't looking. So I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He goes, I got you, you motherfucker.
So fucking mirror technique. Oldest trick in the book.
Yeah, the oldest one in the book, the bubble mirror. Got me. But yeah, making license plates, and then when I got out of 10 block after that, I got a job in the kitchen. I remember I go in the kitchen, right? And he goes, roast beef was on like Sundays. You got these big roast beefs. He goes, I need you to just cut these roast beefs in quarters. And there was like 20 of them. So there's this big table and there's a big butcher knife, right? So I grab the knife and I go like this and it goes, ching. And it this big fucking chain. It was about this short, locked to this big loop. This eye hook in the table. I go, yeah, they ain't letting us run around with this fucking thing. He goes, au contraire, mon frere. We're not letting you run around with a fucking butcher.
Let me ask you. So you make, what do you call shiv? A shank? Is a shank the same thing? Yeah. How much do they go for in the joint? Sam in the can, like, listen, I need a shiv.
No, guys are like the other guys, the other Italian guys will hook you up. I remember when I first got to Walpole, when I first come in, I'm in the they bring me in and they bring me in the HSU, and I remember when I got my first tray of food, it was like these 2 big hot dogs, a bag of fucking chocolate chip cookies, a big thing of coleslaw. It was like, compared to the food in the other places, Walpole was like really good, and I was like, wow, so far so good, and they come out and they go, Lee Otsuki, let's go, pack it up. And I remember I heard the names. I remember Ted Otsuki, he killed the Boston cop. I remember seeing the guy on America's Most Wanted.
No shit.
They caught him in Guadalajara, Mexico. So the doors crack and he steps out and he's this little fucking Japanese guy, right? And he's a fucking stone cold killer. And he looks like a fucking samurai. He looks at me, he's like, hey, what's up, man? Like, just like that. Like, I'm going to be like, No, he's like, hey, what's up, man? I go, hey, what's up, dude? And I'm like, wow, made it, ma. James Cagney, top of the world. Made it, ma.
That's unbelievable.
So I get in, I get to the block, and they say, Lee, and they put me up to a thing, and all of a sudden this fucking black guy comes to my cell. He puts his fucking arms up on the bars. He's fucking jacked, and he goes, no Burger King runs here, Mikey. And I looked, and I said, Donnie Blakey, this kid from Dorchester, right? He was in DYS, and he was in for rape then.
Ooh.
And he was benching like 240 when he was 14. And he was a bad, his name is Fatih Chase Sosa. You Google him, you see they took him into court. He actually snuck a shank up his ass in a court, shit it out in court, and stabbed his lawyer through the neck. He's all over.
What the fuck?
Yeah, if you go, he's doing life
shoved it
now.
up his ass?
Yeah.
He got it out of the... Wow.
Yeah, he got out and raped some lady in Jamaica Plain. He was raping guys in prison. He was like public enemy number one. And the white guys hated him. Right away, the white guy's like, what are you doing talking to him? I said, hey,
why didn't he get the lock in the sock like Whitey?
They stabbed him a few times. They tried to get him. But he's a bad guy. So then the white guys all come over to me. They said, hey, we're taking showers tonight.
Oh.
So I'm like, all right. I'm saying to myself, what the fuck is this all about, right? So we go up in the third tier in Walpole in the max end. There's like a single shower with a curtain. So a guy goes in. He's in there for fucking 10, 15 minutes. He comes out. The other guy goes in. I'm like, waiting. I'm like, maybe it's mandatory. They want everyone to clean their ass. I mean, I'm going to shower anyway, but the way they were saying. So finally, I go in the showers, right? And there's like 8 fucking shanks on the thing. And there's the fucking groove and the cinder blocks and the cement. And there's a pair of like gardening gloves. So we were shopping and everyone was going in there. So you take it, twist it a little, shot and then put one down. And, I figured it out pretty quick. So I've shot, you know what I mean? But I was like, oh, and they had them. They keep like 5 or 6 or 7 of them in like a baby powder thing. And then let's say there's 10 Italian guys or us Irish guys or whatever, just white guys. One day you'd hold it in your cell. Next day, the next guy, and there'd be a few of them floating around, in case you ever needed them, there'd be a bunch of fucking shanks. And one time I was about to get out and there was a kid in there, Justin Holmes, good kid. He was a lifer from Cambridge. And there was a big fight. It was like a racial thing in the yard or something. I forget. And I'm out there and everyone's got knives. And I remember this kid, what a good kid, because misery loves company. Guys up there would, be a man. Get this kid who's going home tomorrow a life sentence on his last fucking day. Got their shitbags up there. That, fucking misery loves company. And this kid, Justin Holmes from Cambridge, who's out now doing great in the union, he goes, Mike, aren't you going home like next week? He's like, dude, get the fuck out of here. No, fuck. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Go fucking lock in, dude. Who the fuck told you to come out here? You know what I mean? And he's like, I appreciate that you're out here, ready to fucking, do whatever. But get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, he's a real one.
Yeah.
Because the ones that are trying to stir me up, they be the ones putting it in my hand. Go fucking stick them, Thank God, I never fucking, never did anything like that.
All these prison, like, you see Escape from Dannemora?
Yeah.
With all these kind of prisoners. I'm fascinated. We talked about prison escapes on here. Like the guys who go, like, say, behind here and they dig with a fucking spoon for 12 years to get out. Yeah. Does anybody ever try to escape?
I saw a guy get caught in the ceiling. He dug his way out in the ceiling. I knew another guy who I know a few guys that escaped from Walpole.
Really? Yeah.
Kenny Whiteman, and
that
Kenny
name sounds familiar.
Kenny Bernstein. He's a West Roxbury guy. I remember.
The laundry cart kind of thing?
He built a hidden compartment in the priest's car.
Wow.
And he's a small guy. He's a small guy. And before that, they found him with like 30 feet of rope in his cell and something else. So he was that guy from day one. And they caught him like 15 years later. He was living somewhere in Ohio and he owned like a used car lot. And his girlfriend's like father was like the chief of police in this small town. I forget how they got him. And the other kid, I talked about him recently on my podcast, Kenny Bernstein. He was a kid from Newton. Not many Jewish kids in there, but he was a ballsy kid. And he got in something where he held someone hostage. He was demanding a helicopter, like all this madness you see. And like, it's like, put the gun down, Sal.
I thought he was in a movie.
Dog Day Afternoon, if you don't know, right? Put the gun down, Sal. We want a helicopter. No, you're not getting a fucking helicopter. So he got like maybe 15 or 20, and he met some girl online, and he cooked up this thing to escape, and he had to go to the hospital, to Shattuck Hospital, and she come out of the fucking, they pulled up in the car, like getting him out, and she come around the corner with a gun and fucking got him. Oh. And his parents had him like a plane ticket to Israel. He was Jewish. Shit. And they caught him in a hotel, like a motel. I think it might have been Trump's hotel, like in Manhattan, under her name, like something fucking stupid. You know what I mean? They got him like a day or two later. But those are the two I knew that actually got out.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
And they're both out now, I believe. I'm sure Kenny's out. Last time I saw him was in Old Colony. When I met Kenny, back then you'd get your key issue sheet when you come in, and guys would come up, like Be a Man guy would come up. Hey, let me see your key issue sheet, right? You'd see, make sure you're not in for fucking child rape or something. It'll say right there everything. Right, boom, this, that, this. Yeah. And he goes, oh, these are the new key issue sheets because they're trying not to show all your crimes because of that. You know what I mean? And he gives it a thing, and it says, please note, inmate cell was searched in Walpole, and, fucking 1986 and discovered 30 feet of rope. And I'm like, I'm reading it. I'm like, wow. And then it says, please note that suspect made a successful escape from MCI Walpole by building a hidden compartment. I looked at him. I go, hey, you're the fucking man. Kenny.
You got to respect that.
Yeah.
I'll never forget
Nice
that.
resume.
You know what I mean? Wherever
That's
you
awesome.
are, Kenny Whiteman, you're a real one. You
Yeah.
know? You're a real one.
Incredible.
So you got out. When was the last time you were in prison? What year did you get out?
2011.
Oh, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Doing construction now and.
Yeah, got the roofing, construction, home improvement business, and I own a couple sober homes, and I got the massage.
Nice.
Be a man, right? What is it?
Yeah.
Huh? Be a man. Oh, open
No.
a massage parlor.
Own a massage parlor, be a man. Yeah.
So you really turn things around in a big
Yeah.
way, right?
Yeah.
From that to all this stuff you got going on, it's unbelievable. It's great.
So when I got out in 2011, I actually, I had a bank robbery case. 2009, I actually beat it and got out in 2011, and I went away for a couple of years again, and I got out and I got back on the fucking drugs, and I got on the methadone clinic, which was a bad scene for me. It might help some people, but it wasn't for me. And my friend Mickey Woods, like Mike, I got arrested again, drug trafficking heroin. And he's like, and I was so scared about going back and kicking again, and kicking cold turkey. And
yeah.
Mickey took me down to Florida and got me in this real nice rehab. I was used to going to like Shattuck Hospital and the fucking Boston Cab and all these dumps, Tewksbury Detox, Danvers, Worcester, all these these detoxes I'd always fucking go through, and he took me down there, and I got out of there. I went in there in March, St. Patty's Day. That's my sober date. Ironically, I know you guys are huge St. Patty's Day guys, right?
Why not?
I
jump in.
I thought you could
I've
party.
jumped
All
in.
green,
Yeah.
right?
I don't do the
And
green.
you were at the parade last year. You were in the parade, right?
The year before.
2
Yeah,
years? Yeah.
yeah.
I've
This
partied.
year was freezing.
Yeah,
I
right.
didn't
right,
go,
right.
but
Yeah, they should make it later in the
Listen,
year.
you gotta
Fucking
get
too
a float,
iffy, the
dude.
weather. Right?
you guys got to get afloat. I know.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not your day,
We're
but-
going to be in it next
Yeah.
year.
Are you?
It's only another 4 months away, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
Wow.
I haven't been in years. Yeah, I'd like to go.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
we don't know what we're doing yet, but we're going to be there
Right.
this year.
Got to do it. I'm jumping on your float. There's no
Absolutely.
fucking right.
Yeah, we gotta have the Be a Man float.
Yeah.
Float. When do you get a float?
We don't call it a
Yeah.
float. We call it a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what would we throw out? Like fucking, I mean, we
Oh,
wouldn't
fucking
throw out-
rocks.
Yeah, we
Throw
wouldn't
rocks.
throw- we
Fucking
wouldn't
throw
throw
rocks.
out, we wouldn't throw out condoms or anything because fuck those. Like, yeah, you just throw out fucking rocks,
all.
maybe nips.
Yeah, nips.
Yeah,
Nips, all right.
fucking.
Anyone
Blue
comes up to get their
M&Ms.
picture taken, we'll punch him in the face.
Yeah. We'll bring that fucking Irish guy who fucked him over the deck. We'll tie him to the bumper and drag him down Broadway.
Well, the actual
We'll throw nails at
float
him.
should be abroad, right? Like fucking the actual float,
Yes.
and like Be a Man's like standing on top of one of the titties doing the Miss America wave.
This guy's got ideas.
He's a thinker. He's a thinker, the kid.
He
Now, speaking of
lays the brains
sober,
the
Back
operation.
there thinking. Look at him.
What's it been? 3 months?
What?
4.5 months. Be a
4.5
Man.
months he's been sober.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Apparently, Be a Man thinks that my issue was a lot worse than I did.
Yeah.
But
No, I commend him.
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
no.
anyone who can do it, I commend.
You know, it's funny. When I first got sober, I got out of that rehab and I went to a sober house in Deerfield Beach at Pompano. I think it might have been Pompano at the time. So after like a week, I'm on the couch. There's a knock at the door, and it's Mickey Wood and another guy I knew, Tucker. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And they're like, oh, we're not just coming by to say hi. This is a well-being check. And I go, all right, looking at my eyes, I'm like, I'm good. And he goes, how long you been sober now? And I goes, it's only been 3 months. He goes, only? He goes, kid, you couldn't stay sober for fucking 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He goes, so don't fucking dismiss it like
Yeah.
it's nothing,
Yeah.
because it's an accomplishment.
Yeah, for
And I
sure.
say that to other people now when they're
Yeah.
getting sober. I only been sober 2 weeks. So it's, hey,
It's good
Right.
you
But
get
that's
people
fine.
supporting you helps you too,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
What?
get people in your corner
yeah.
supporting you. That makes it helpful.
Now, do you
Oh.
feel everything's kicked? Do you feel like really kicked? You're done with it? Or, I mean, do you ever get like,
Well, I don't sit there and crave it. I don't.
yeah.
I don't have any cravings. I think I'm done. I had some dental procedures, and I was worried because I'm not Superman. If I break my leg,
Yeah,
fucking morphine.
yeah,
I'm not some fucking superhero, right? But if I can avoid it, and I was getting a bone graft and implants, and everyone was telling me how bad it was, and it really wasn't that bad. I didn't take anything.
It wasn't that bad.
Nothing.
I took the anti-inflammatory. No, I didn't take nothing. You
Just
know,
like Advil or something.
be a man. You know.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Stare the dentist
He
in the
didn't
whole.
even use fucking Novocaine.
Stare the dentist in the eye the whole time.
Refuse anesthesia.
And so that's a concern. Something happens to
right.
me, and they got me on fucking a morphine drip for a month. You know, who knows? Could trigger something, and I go crazy. The only time I ever think about doing anything, it's strange, is when I'm in the airport. I want to bang down a couple of fucking drafts and order some nachos.
Right.
I don't know. I
that's
just see
funny.
the bar room sitting there. It's so anonymous, right?
Yeah.
It's like
I
happy
know,
hour.
it's a good
whether
look. Like,
10
you
in the
wanna do it.
morning.
Yeah,
right.
Like I just want to sit down and be like, give me
Seems
one of
like-
those
Yeah.
big 24-ounce
Yeah,
drafts, a little salt, and a fucking order of nachos. Like no one knows who I am.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, hey,
Nothing.
buddy.
Right.
Yeah. And but I, it's like I play the tape out my head, and I just, I know how this ends.
Yeah.
You know.
So I quit the fucking blow. I mean, I was doing it back in the day, like a lot of us. I did a lot of it. And I thought I was going down for the count a few times, and I said, that's it. That's it.
I stopped
That's
doing
pounding
heroin
out
a
of your
couple of years
chest,
ago.
right?
Bumping down 2 packs of smokes. Like,
Yeah.
24-hour sessions.
I mean, that
it's
coke
awful.
in the fucking mid to late 80s, early 90s.
I'm lucky. I never
Unbelievable.
really
I was
liked
selling
it.
it, so-
I don't know if it was I had bad stuff. I never really liked it.
Really?
Yeah, so I was lucky. A lot of my
I feel like I
friends-
missed out
I
like
liked
in
it too
life
much.
because I wasn't like fully functioning and rip and blow in the 80s. I feel like
You did.
oh man, just the whole vibe with the fucking the music and the fucking
Oh, yeah.
It
Disco.
was
Something at the beginning, right? It was fucking great. I don't care what they say.
Yeah.
Early coke doing before it gets dark, as it does.
yeah.
It's fucking euphoric.
Oh, it's
it was
fantastic.
fantastic.
Yeah.
We went to Florida. We went to the nightclubs in Boston doing coke. It was great.
Unbelievable.
How many people you know died?
can't
You
lie.
look back at all the
Rich
people
man's
that died.
Rich man's aspirin.
That's
Yeah,
right.
right.
Remember they said it wasn't addictive?
Yeah.
This is psychologically addictive, but maybe not physically.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
well, like in the 20s, they used to give you fucking cocaine as toothpaste, like fucking.
Cocaine and Coca-Cola.
It was in a lot of shit.
It was in
yeah.
Coca-Cola, right? The original.
Yeah. The original one wasn't Coca-Cola. Yeah.
Well, everyone was always happy back then.
It's like the car. I remember breaking in a pharmacy in fucking early 80s. My neighborhood, the Opera House Pharmacy, with they had the bottles of fucking codeine cough syrup.
yeah.
We had cases of it, you know. I said I was a kid, you know, when I first started, getting a taste of the opiates. Now it's terrible. You know, there's no more. You can't even go buy a Xanax, right? I want to go to bed. I want to go get a Xanny bar. Like, I mean, I haven't done them obviously in 10 years, but I used to like smashing taking a Xanax something. And now you just see it on the news every day, right?
Yep.
Every fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry has a pill press in their closet, and they don't give a fuck. They're putting meth and fentanyl. I mean, meth and fentanyl in a Xanax?
Be a man.
Yeah. Did you ever see the that undercover special where they're in those places where they just bag these chemicals and mail them to anybody?
Oh,
who
yeah.
wants them?
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're like this legal chemical,
no-
but then once you put this with it, it's fentanyl or it's
Fucked up.
whatever. How much money are they making pushing, selling this shit over here and weakening us, weakening the country.
Yeah, it's like when they made the van out of weed in the Cheech and Chong movie.
I remember tripping on acid and watching Nice Dreams.
Classic.
Great. What a great movie. Stacy Keach, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Hey, you're pissing on my leg.
I used to like to
Pee Wee
do
Herman?
acid.
Was Pee Wee? Is that the one
Poor
Pee Wee Herman was
He
in?
just
Yeah.
croaked Pee Wee. He just fucking croaked
Yeah.
a couple of months ago.
Paul Rubens.
Paul Rubens.
Yeah.
He was never the same after they caught him jerking off in the theater.
The mugshot is
Fucking
great.
weirdo.
We should put that mugshot on my gummies.
Yeah.
the little like that's Pee
I
Wee
mean,
Herman.
big fucking deal. The guy rubbed one out in the theater.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why were those people in there looking for
Everybody,
that?
how many other people were probably fucking pounding off while he was fucking doing it?
Kind of a crazy thing to do though. Like remember the Pilgrim Theater and all them right there in the zone, right? We go in there because they have the kung fu movies next to it. Remember?
Yeah.
You
Those were
sneak,
great.
yeah, we sneak in there. I mean, I'm from Lowell. We take the train down.
Yeah.
as kids,
Yeah,
and
right.
they run all around there, the combat
Right.
zone, the
Yeah.
common.
Around the garden and
Full
stuff.
day.
Yeah.
I remember being 14 years old in a taxi drive, and me and my friend were drinking Pepe Lopez, White Lightning. Remember that? The tequila?
Ooh,
Pepe
Yeah,
Lopez.
White Lightning.
We're drinking that. Now we want some beers. And we're 14, 15. He says, go to this restaurant over there, the Moon Villa in Chinatown, and say you want cold tea. We're kids. We got like $20. We go in, we're like, yeah, I'll have one egg roll and some cold tea. And they come out.
Wink, wink.
with the pitcher of, the tea pitcher with beer. We're like, this is amazing. Then I kept going in there, and I remember being in there one night. It's like 2 a.m. There's 2 Boston cops with the black leather jackets on. I still got some cold tea, and they come out with 16-ounce cans of Miller in brown paper bags. And we're sitting there. The cops are at the next table. Like, it was a different time. The early 80s. You know what I mean? People were getting paid off and, no liquor licenses.
Right.
And then years later, I remember I went in there and I says, I'm with some girl. I'm telling this. And I'm like, you have 2 cold teas? He's like, no more cold tea.
That went in the crackdown. No more cold tea.
Yes. Be a man guy. You ever go to China?
No, not yet.
The motherland?
Surprised.
Graceland?
Yeah, not going. I'm going to wait a while, I think, before I go there.
You know what sucks is when I was going to go there and she told me there's no Instagram and no YouTube.
No?
Really?
No.
Censorship.
Yeah.
No Facebook either, right? There's a bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah,
censored.
they don't let that shit fly.
Yeah.
No.
They don't even let them watch the TikTok they watch in this country.
Yeah,
Because
no.
it'll fuck up the
Oh,
kids.
yeah. They got them kids winning pull-up
They're
contests.
doing fucking math at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Pull-ups, this, that.
See,
My
my-
kid's in the fucking basement
Yeah.
eating Doritos on a game.
Yeah, my girl told me that they're like school like 7 days a week, whatever it is,
it's like
25 hours
The government's
a day.
in your living room. That's what one of them told me.
What is it?
The government's in your living room
Really?
if you live there. Girl I know had a second kid years ago, which was a no-no. They fined her $65,000. They tied her tubes in the hospital. And then some people are coming over here. Government.
65.
I know someone else that had a second kid who was like, she got fined like $40,000. They tied her tubes. She had more kids after that, and then she had to get an abortion every time. And one of the times, the baby came out and its hand was still moving.
Oh.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
I mean, there's the stories I hear.
Yeah.
It's
The
fucking-
government, and like you said, they're in your house, right? You got, like, we're sitting here having a conversation. Imagine, you're with family and you're afraid to say something.
Yeah.
You're afraid to say something
Yeah.
against the government.
And you
Like,
see, like, now your girl maybe gets worried about stuff a lot, but it's because if you live there, if you fuck up and do something wrong,
go to your family.
you're fucked.
Yeah.
So that's the mentality. So they
Same
they
broad.
worry a lot about stuff, but they, there's a reason.
That scenario there you're telling in China, the same broad come to this country, pump out a couple of anchor babies, and this government will give you fucking money and set you up.
Yeah.
Fucking laptop, health. There you go.
But it's funny, they're not like that really. I mean, the ones I met, they're workers and they're money
Right.
makers.
Oh, yeah,
no,
they're not
they're-
just like, have a kid and get a food stamp card.
Yeah.
You know
Not
what
them.
I mean?
Yeah.
No, they have a different mentality. They
Yeah.
really do.
They get computers for brains, man.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
smart about stock market, about cars, everything, money. They're sharp.
They don't seem to be part of any of the crime wave or any of the bullshit going on overall.
They
at
work
all.
hard. They keep their heads down. They work hard. They don't come over here and start trouble. A lot of them.
Yeah.
He
You know?
may be named ambassador to China under the next administration.
Someone has to do it.
Because his proclivity for the Asian chickadillies. The great white hope. The hero we didn't deserve.
I was in Chinatown about 3 months ago, and there was a bunch of like students walking by.
Yeah.
And they pointed to me and said, "Godzilla."
Wait till they see your python.
Be a man. What about what do you got going on in Colombia? Just like to go there.
Yeah, I got to go back there. I got to go there in December. You know what I mean? I got
You go
I
there
got-
quite often, right?
Yeah, I got a bunch of dental work done. I got some implants.
Oh,
Oh, you went
Nice.
down?
Yes.
Yeah.
they look good.
I got one here,
The
but I need
diamonds
2
in
more.
them.
Those come out
Ross.
nice. Oh, fuck. Look at this. You got a fucking grill. There's a kind of a grill going on, right? You see, what I like is a touch of a grill, not the whole grill.
Yeah, yeah,
right,
Nice.
Yeah,
I
subtle.
could
Yeah.
pull that off. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just something you can
yeah,
show
I'm gonna get
people. It's
that.
not like,
Oh. Oh, look at you, man. This is fucking awesome.
no, what, they have massage parlors in Colombia?
I go to massage parlors.
Yeah, they
in
call them
Colombia.
people's houses.
I went to
Is that
one.
when
It
you
was
were on the
great.
boat with those 2 chicks on the
Yeah.
boat? Is that-
Yeah, it was Cartagena, San Andreas. So the first time I went there with some dental work, and I go, I'm in a club, and I meet these 2 girls, and they're fucking absolute rockets, right? So I'm like, I want to rent a boat tomorrow and go to this island. Do you want to go? They're like, yeah, 100%. So they come out, and they're dancing, they kiss, So it's like 5 or 6 hours, so we get into the end, going back to the party, they're talking to each other. One of them says, hey, what it was? if you give us $100 more, $150, no, 100 and another 100 more, 200, yeah. You give us 200 each. First they said 100, and they said, no, give us 100 more. 200 each, or was it 200 total? We'll go back to your hotel with you and stay with you all night, party and have fun. I go, no, absolutely not. He goes, no, why? I go, that's not enough money. I said, I would gladly give you 300 each, young lady.
Like a gin.
Right.
Now I'm like, it was, there's a shower in the room, and it's all glass around the bedroom. And they're showering and dancing, and, and I'm just laying in bed, and I'm just like, my God, it's an awesome God. Maybe that's when I started believing in God.
Went to heaven.
But I remember afterwards ordering room service. It was good Irish food. You guys like Irish food?
Oh, yeah.
No, it was bolognese. But they're just sitting there naked, like feeding me fucking bolognese. And I'll never forget it. It was, what's the movie with Costanza in it, with Tony Robbins is in it?
Oh, what is that?
Shallow Hal.
Shallow Hal. And it's Shallow Hal, but in Spanish. And I remember I'm Snapchatting and they're naked, feeding me food. I'm like, I didn't know Costanza spoke Spanish. And that's when my Snapchat just started going fucking bananas, But that's when I was like, wow, Colombia.
Yeah.
Be a man.
Very good things.
Be a man.
So Beanshooter.
Yes.
I promise you to be the first guest. You're the first guest, and you're a great one. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you. Be a man guy. John Fiore.
Thank
Can we
you.
get the laugh guy?
Beanshooter.
Let's go. My guys. No, it was great. Thank you very much. It was
Great.
fucking,
No, a lot of
Great
fun.
it was
guest.
awesome. I loved it.
One more thing to close this out, Beanshooter. What does be a man mean to you?
Just to be stand up, be an honorable guy to your, to your family first and to your friends, and be able to look yourself in the mirror at night and not feel like a fucking piece of shit. To be a man.
Beautiful. That's
Yep.
right on the money,
exactly.
man. That's awesome.
The younger generation now, they're having a hard time being a man. How do you tell them to be a man and how to embrace that?
It's hard to tell somebody. You gotta just do it, because when you're being a piece of shit or you're being a coward. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And just it's pretty simple. It seems simple, right? Just fucking be a man. Stand up for what's right. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for your family first, and just be a loyal friend, and that's it.
Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah.
No, act normal, do the right thing.
Yeah.
Just, bang broads, drink beer, lift weights,
There it is.
go to massage parlors weekly.
Eat a steak.
Yeah.
With
your hands.
Yeah.
Eat a hunk of beef.
raw.
Yeah.
Get legitimate massages.
Yeah.
Be a man.
Experience.